Oh my God.
It's that Lil Gay Talk Show. Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Oh my God. Okay, so
we're professional.
Before we get started, let me try this again. See, we did a mock rehearsal ahead of time, but we didn't know we were doing a mock rehearsal until I happened to look down and I said, the button's still green. Why is the button still green?
It was a test. Thank you.
And it turned out it's just simply because I forgot to
We're pre-gaming the pre-show.
Plus play, record, whatever. It's been a long day. I've been up since 5.
All right.
Okay.
So do we need to do the intro again then?
Okay, let's do the intro. Everybody just introduce yourself. I'm Joel Tatum.
My name is Wendy Taylor.
I'm Spunkmeyer Brown, and I like to get down.
Yes, he does. And our special guest today is Jonatan Alex.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. How are y'all?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
Well, you know what? Before we get into all of Jonathan's stuff, because we're going to get into his stuff.
Oh, we're going to get into his
We're going to get into his stuff here.
Deep
into his stuff here real shortly.
We're going to get him good and lubed up real quick.
Let's call this segment General Conversation. I already. So, tell me about
That's
your day.
my release.
What's going on with everybody today? How's everybody doing?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, we have like an hour and some time.
Thank you
so
for listening to the show, everyone.
Yes,
we
thank
talked
you.
about me for 2 hours last
Thank you,
time.
Jonathan.
It's about somebody else.
Thank you, Jonathan, for being on the show today. We had a great time.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
So what you been up to?
Dancing now more than often, prepping up for a competition.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, congratulations on first runner-up.
First runner-up, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
What? Mm-hmm.
First runner-up.
Mr. Gay Pride of Houston.
Mr. Gay Pride Houston, first runner-up. It was a local competition. I'm gonna pronounce it, and I know that I'm pronouncing the organization wrong. Ericsson, something like that.
Erickson's.
Mm-hmm.
Charity event. It was a great time. There was 4 guys competing, 3 girls. I decided to do it, see how I am, everything goes, just for the fun of it. Money that was being tipped was for charity, so that was a good part too. So it was a good time.
Yeah,
everybody loved it. Everybody loved the guys that were there because there was more than usual what they would see, and everybody was creative in every way.
That's great.
So the winner was Talon Whitney. I forgot his Talon Debrooks Whitney, and then second for the misses is Leisha LaRue. So Leisha LaRue won.
Yes, LaRue.
So and I know she has a lot of she's done a lot of charity with FLAS. So I'm happy that they both
I love the LaRues. The whole LaRue family is so talented. It's every time I see one of them perform, I'm like, keeping the standard. They have a high standard for performances, and they are absolutely stellar.
Sickening, every one of them. And
every single one of them. Yeah, they're phenomenal.
How long has Rain LaRue been doing charities and all this other stuff?
Years.
Yeah, a long time.
Long time. I don't have a number, but a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there even a number?
I don't
know. 8 years more?
8 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was a queen for FLAS years ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, so I know she's been...
Long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about your competition, dude. That's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new competition, separate from what's U of A, All America.
Mm-hmm.
It's not... there's no national. This is something new that one Manny Vega wanted to do. And he brought in 12 people. Some are new. Some are entertainers that have been doing pageants and also competitions for a long time. And he decided to make this an opportunity to show them out, showcase them, because everyone is talented, every guy, and I feel like there should be male entertainers out there, especially out here in Houston. And, you know, every guy that I've seen is very creative. Some can sing, some can really dance in a certain style. All the different types of music that they do is really, really great. And it was a good opportunity, and he reached out to me like, "Hey, would you like to do this new competition?" I was like, "Sure, certainly." Like, you know, it's something new, something start of a new era. Mm-hmm. Everyone would say like, "Oh, it's a new era of a pageant and all that." So I said, "Why not?"
That's exciting.
It's been fun, and I'm really excited to see some people there because I've met them already. Some have helped me, and I'm just like, okay, well, now we're competing, but I don't see it as like a competition, more like let's have fun.
Well, and anybody who's in the pageant system will tell you that you're competing against yourself every year. You get up there, and yes, you want to beat this person. Yes, you want to win. Yes, you want to do that. But really, it's about your own personal growth. And I find that the winners typically take that attitude all the way. So I think you're going to do great, though. I've seen you dance. You're beautiful. You're a lovely person anyway. You're always so warm and real. And that was something that I always appreciated about you every time that we got to interact. And just a sweetheart. Y'all, he's such a sweetheart.
And he's pretty easy. He's pretty easy on the eyes, too.
He's beautiful.
He's pretty easy on the eyes.
He's Gorgina.
You know, if I didn't know him and think he was such a great kid, I would have hit that. All right. I would have been like, "Hey, how are you? What's going on?
Sup?
How you doing?
What's your number?
Give me your number." Yes, you can call me Daddy. I'm okay with that.
Yes, Daddy.
Just not sugar. We're not there yet. We're not there. We're working on it, but we're not there yet.
You can be a Splenda Daddy.
I need the sugar.
Right now, I'm barely at Sweet and Low.
Ooh.
Barely. Barely, with 8 other Sweet and Lows.
Hi, I'm your unrefined raw sugar daddy.
Brown raw sugar.
You're brown sugar. I'm your brown sugar daddy.
Brown raw sugar, not brown sugar.
Raw sugar. Because we like it raw.
Please.
Please and thank you. Okay, so that's really exciting. The pageants. What else has been going on with you? We haven't caught up in a little while.
I'm starting to be more in Austin every so often.
Oh yeah.
Ever since they did Austin Kink Weekend, which is, I would say, a leather event. I wouldn't say similar to Folsom, but like the leather community in wise. The events they have, fetishes and kinks, and they'll give classes, educational classes on like pop play. I believe myself too for a little bit. Sexualities like demisexual sexuality, and bootlegging. I think that's the term. They had people there for all the leather community there. It was really great. This is my second time being around there. I was asked to dance. So ever since I started dancing there, they were wanting me to come back every so often. So I'm like, okay, I will just.
Right.
And so I've been dancing at the New Eagle over there in Austin. It's really nice. It's really great. Really such a difference, of course, from Houston. So,
wait, what's the New Eagle? I don't.
So yeah, Eagle. There's a new Eagle in Austin.
Yeah, where is it?
It's gonna be like upper north.
Is it an older? What was there before?
It's just that we have the Eagle here, and then that's a new one.
Yeah, right. Was it a previously gay place, or is it?
No, it's a new place.
Oh, got it.
So it's different from where downtown is.
Right.
The ones from Surratt and another. We were the ones that started the Eagle there, and then now it's like a fully established.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really great. They've been doing some great stuff over there, so I can't wait to be back over there every so often. Austin has been great. I really love the people, enjoy the people. It's been great, and
Austin's a fun city.
It's a fun city, and don't get started with like the people follow and all that. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think I have a love-hate relationship with Austin.
Oh.
I mean, I love Austin on a certain level, but there's certain, it just doesn't have the flavor it used to have. I feel like
it's been gentrified.
It's been so overly gentrified that it's,
that part. I
mean, I realize that Austin is like, I guess, the Hollywood of Texas, if that's what you want to call it. But
yeah, but like the whole campaign to keep Austin weird is kind of like fallen to the wayside.
Yeah, it's like
a little bit.
I think you need to retire that and just keep Austin tech, because that's all Austin really is. I mean, honestly, that's really Austin really is. It's a tech town.
Yeah.
So I mean, Texas has its own tech town. There we go. So we're closer to California than most people think.
Oh my God,
and if we can get to a few more Californians, we might get a Democrat.
They're all coming here. Saying. They're all coming here from California.
I'm just saying.
They're all moving.
But they're probably going back now.
No, quite a few of them are like rich Republicans who are like, oh my God, I'm going to go to Texas because, Elon did it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Can you stay in California though? No, just because I don't even know how much time does Elon spend in Texas.
No, it's fine. They can come here and pay too much for my house. Mm-hmm. Come by my house, y'all.
For as much as he loves to tell Texas, for much as he loves Texas, never seems to be here.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that.
Am I arguing? I'm just saying.
Well, where is he? Isn't he in Texas?
He's at Twitter headquarters.
Oh, in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm. He's always at Twitter headquarters. I mean, somebody has to get certified. Somebody has to pay that $7 to get that blue certification. So,
I was thinking about it and I was like, nope.
I'm like,
I don't even have Twitter.
Why? Why?
No, for me, the weird thing is like I see people that have like 100 followers, all that, and they have the blue check mark. I'm like, why? I'm like, you're like, no.
You're verified.
No. You're verified for 100
what?
people. For 100 people in what content?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. Like, don't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just, what is it? It's just, what do they call it? A status symbol or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just to have a blue check on Twitter, which the show has a Twitter page, but as I told Phoenix, our Twitter page, the one that I put up a long time ago that I never used, it's just full of dick pics. So that's why I had to tell Phoenix to start a new
So I should maybe go check it out.
You should probably go.
You would love it.
Yeah. You would probably love it.
You'd love it.
Because it's dicks from all around the world.
Like,
I do not discriminate.
Everything from Tumblr went to Twitter, so
I might go visit it just to get, because I like when I get like unsolicited dick pics to send them back, to send them other dick pics back.
Oh, yeah,
that are bigger and better looking, and be like, can you do something like this?
Oh my God!
Because Twitter,
I like that.
Maybe it was because of Elon taking over, but Twitter got dirtier. I'm like,
oh, Twitter's
am I
always
the only
been
fan?
It's been more dirtier.
It's
been more dirtier.
It's more dirtier now than I think it was before. Before, I might get like one dick pic a month. Now, every time I open up and I'm going through trying to get rid of the account, and I can't figure out what the password is. Like, and so I'm like, I know how to do it, but it's just such a do you know how much of a hassle it is to? Okay, all you want to do is do one little thing on whatever app you're on. You get on that app. It's probably an app you probably haven't used in a while. You get on the app, and then you realize you don't remember the password. Then you go, wait a minute, I have the password saved on which device? So I have to go through 4 different devices to figure out where the password is.
Oh, you don't use a password manager?
The password? No. You know why?
I just log in with Google.
Have you seen the way he communicates with us? 2 seconds later, it's on Discord. Then the next thing, I'm getting a text, and then after that,
he's like, "Everyone, I'm here." It's like, wait,
I had to go through 4 things to get the address to this place.
I love it when he gets on Discord. He's like, "I'm here," and I'm like, "Okay, were we planning on something?" Great.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you know the funny thing. Manager.
The funny thing. No, I use Password Manager. That's the funny thing. But Password Manager pops up on my Google and on my Bing. So I have like 5 different password managers with 9 different passwords for one site, and I have to figure out which password I changed.
That's a you problem.
I know, but still. That is to me, that is, I don't know, that's my biggest bane.
Yeah, it's all you, boo.
I change mine every time. I'm like, no, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I was saying,
and then if I do,
manager.
Oh, by the way, if I do
Two-factor authentication.
Yes, thank you. The two-factor authentication.
You're welcome.
And it's tied to a phone number that I used to have, and then I have to figure out how to. It's a pain in the fucking.
Yeah. I realized I can never get up my phone number.
But everybody's like, oh, but Joel, it's in the cloud. It'll download. It never fully downloads. I never get all my contacts. I never get all my apps. I never get any. I have to go through and find everything all over again.
Just do it
I don't have that problem. What do you?
I did that. And you know what? The funny thing is that I went from an XR to an SC.
A what to a what?
iPhone XR from an XR to an SC, which is
the smaller one.
Which is the smaller one, which I hate because it's so small. I'm so used to having something big in my hand. And then I know, right?
I know exactly how you feel.
But then we had to get this small phone, and I'm like, this thing.
Yeah. Doesn't even fit in your hand,
right? I
had
to do this, and I'm like, oh my God. I need a decent phone. I want my Galaxy Note 7. That's what I want.
Size doesn't matter.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I want a Galaxy Note 7.
Everybody needs to have an iPhone.
No.
Not a Galaxy.
Hey, whoa, what about, since we're talking about Apple, what about those new virtual reality things? What do you think about those?
$3,400.
But I know.
No.
Well, let's get 3.
Yes! And charge it to Joel.
Yes! Can I borrow your card?
Mr. Producer.
I'm going to borrow your card for just a minute.
Okay.
I have to make an online purchase.
Good luck, because all I'm going to say is declined. It's going to be aggressive, too.
Get aggressive. It's like, what are you even thinking? Like, that's like, we need like sassy credit cards that are just like, they don't even decline you. They're just like, seriously? That's the response.
I like that.
I would love.
Sorry, you can't right now.
You know what? I would love that. I would love Chime to make a rainbow card that
talks shit.
That talks shit.
Yeah.
That just talks.
Seriously?
I want a bitch. What you doing?
The next one would be like, better get those feet pics ready.
Oh my God. So you're working on your OnlyFans better.
Hey, yeah, you connected to
your OnlyFans coming to
a virtual agent. Yeah, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is a Wi-Fi connection and a speaker.
Yeah. Oh my God, how much fun would that be for me to be the voice on somebody's card? I would do it.
Yes.
Hire me today. I'm available.
Yes, I could see it. Yep.
To the 20 people who are watching this, hire her today. Okay.
Today. Yeah.
Okay. All right, because she's every time.
And she's got the voice. I mean, come on.
She has the voice. She does. She does have the voice. Mm-hmm.
Even though she's not saying anything now.
Why did you never choose to do voice acting for for animation or anything?
So, so I've actually been thinking about that over the last year, to be honest, because the way that I built my recording studio was actually for voice acting because I like to record authors reading their books. And have recently been getting a lot of attention for my speaking voice, which is new for me since I was a singer my whole life. So it's interesting now that people are picking up on the speaking aspect of it since I'm not performing anymore. But I have actually been thinking about that.
Eloquent, so verbose.
Oh, I am verbose.
And I got a chance to use the word verbose.
It's a good word.
It is a good word.
Made me wet.
Oh.
Okay.
Sweating here.
Literally everyone in this
speechless.
room just like freaked. All I could hear in Joel's head is vagina dentata, vagina dentata, vagina dentata.
I don't have that much of a fear of the vagina as the other gays.
I don't understand why it's so scary.
I don't understand why gays.
I've eaten a vagina, so I don't have a fear of it.
I would.
I once had to. Okay, I have come to the conclusion after listening to the last episode and episodes prior to this, I'm not the greatest storyteller. So I will do the best I can with this quick story.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my best friend at the time, who was going through a vanilla ice phase, I don't need to explain anymore.
Oh.
Was dating this chick. This chick turned out to have a huge crush on me. I was terrified of her because she was super aggressive. Super aggressive. So one evening, he decided to have her over. Now, I need to preface this. This was in 1993. You're going to hear some horrible stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to hear some horrible stuff.
Great, here we go.
So basically, he got her drunk and tried to get her naked. I had to intervene and I had to take her home. But the problem is that I didn't know where her clothes were.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I had to carry her to her apartment, which was down the way.
You carried some naked girl home?
Naked. In my arms, vagina right here in my face.
Was it
and
bushy?
I was, no, actually she was not. And this was 92.
I'm glad that you asked.
This was 92. Now, I don't know if this was the beginning of the Brazilian phase.
Oh, for sure. It was. The 90s was when
But
everything started to relax.
there was nothing there. There was
Good for her.
That was the first time that I've ever seen it with nothing. Now, I have seen vaginas with everything. But I've never seen it with nothing. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it with nothing. And all I thought to myself was, you know what? It's kind of cute. That's all I thought.
You're cute.
It's cute. I said,
Little lips.
the little lips and everything. And I thought about my own lips, and I'm like, they look like my lips. It's cute. And the funny thing is that the very next day she calls me. Well, let me preface this one more time. She calls the house phone. Yes, she calls the house phone, and I answer, and she says, "Thank you for taking me home. I do not remember last night." And I said, "You don't want to remember, but I'm glad I took you home."
Goodness gracious.
And end of the story.
Good for you, Joel.
Good for you.
Yeah,
So
good
wait,
for-
what happened after that? Did she like, was that the last of her?
No, she kept trying to pursue, but
Okay.
I finally had to come out and say, "Girl, I'm gay. I'm gay."
I've
didn't
seen your
At
hoo-ha.
The funny
And I
thing
don't
was,
want none.
at first I said, "Girl, I'm Christian. I don't do that."
No.
That was the biggest lie. By the way, while I'm drinking a martini at a bar. While I'm drinking a martini at a bar on the south side of town, among my own people who are heterosexual. So yes. So the idea that you're watching me drink a martini in the straightest bar on the south side of town, and you think I'm not gonna say, "Hey, yeah, bitch, I'm into you." No. No. 93. No. This is obviously super gay. And of course, being the 90s, my favorite thing to hear from women, you just need the right vagina.
Oh my God.
Mine is so
Oh,
bad.
listen, I just had a
My
conversation.
my pussy is so good.
I had a conversation this week about how fucking annoying it is for people to try to say they can fuck us straight. Be like, bitch, first of all, do you know how arrogant you have to be to think that you're the one that's going to fix someone? Would you get over yourself? You don't have God dick. And even if you did, I can do myself way better. I don't need you. So, like, I hate that. I hate that. It's so gross. It's so gross. And it goes further than just comments, because so many of people in our community have to suffer with sexual assault. And that has been a common theme with people trying to fuck us straight and raping us and in bathrooms and just I hate that so much. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in the world. Like, I cannot stand that. Ooh, that buzzkill, but that is a big soapbox for me.
That's a big no for me
That's
too.
a big
it's
soapbox
such
for
annoying.
me.
Like, oh, fuck you straight. I'm like, no, like, what are you gonna do with
That's
that
like
after?
me telling a straight guy, I can make
Like, you
gay.
just made me gayer by saying that to
I can
me.
make
Like 10% more gay.
You're going the wrong direction, brother.
And amazingly enough, I don't. It's weird. This might be the weirdest thing I've ever said, but I don't mind the homophobia from women. I think I mind it more from men.
That's because men have power in this country and they're an actual threat.
And I'm wondering if that makes me slightly misogynistic myself.
Does.
I think I mind it more from women. I have to say.
I feel a bit
like a man, I can kind of understand.
I feel a lot of disappointment when a woman is like, I don't like gays, because I'm like, I've never heard of. To me, that doesn't sound like something a woman should ever say. I thought we were like.
Every time a woman comes up to me and says something like that, I just look at her and go, I can tell.
It's like, God damn it,
I mean,
girl,
I guess
you need a gay.
I expected from
You need a gaggle of
You
gays.
need a gaggle of
sweetie.
gays.
I mean like that with how you're dressed? No.
And you tell me that you don't like the gays. I hope your hairdresser's gay.
Yeah,
He did that
exactly.
to you. I hope he did that to you.
I guess from a man, it's kind of expected, but
That's
from a
amazing.
woman,
That's
it's kind of like unexpected.
I think
would say.
there is a level of misogyny here. I think it just hurts more when it comes from a man because it's what we hear growing up all the time. It is something we hear. We get called queer, fags, girls, sissies, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, when it comes from when it comes from a woman, it's like okay, you're an idiot, but I'm gonna move on. But when it comes from a man, it hurts just a little, because I'm remembering all the stuff that happened from boys and men when I was a kid. Yeah. And by the way, when I say some of the stuff, I mean a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because some of those boys and men who weren't tried on several occasions. A couple of them succeeded.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, from a man, I'm like, well, you're probably bisexual, gay, anyways, and you're just like trying to cover it up. So,
Yep.
And
it has nothing to do with me.
And I'm not of the camp of, hey, you're too unattractive to be gay, because I don't like.
Oh, that's such a gross statement anyway, too.
That's a gross statement to me.
It's gross. But our community, we have our own inter-community issues, and we're extremely judgmental about size, age.
Let's be 100% honest here. And I saw this online, too. It's mostly the gays. It's all the gays. It's just the gays. It's really the gays. If you look at the LGBTQ,
oh, yeah.
It's
terrible. They really are.
We're the worst. We are the worst. We're the most jealous, narcissistic, self-centered, shallow members of this community. So the racism, the misogyny, all that stuff, yeah, it's the gays. It's us.
Yeah.
And until we work out, we need to work out a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things.
A lot.
I mean, starting from the masculine, feminine thing, all the way down to the facts.
Conversation.
No facts, no femmes, no Asians.
To get into that conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's.
I love, because this is a big part of our society, though, especially being with men feeling emasculated, and why that's such a negative thing. Because, oh my God, you have to feel like a woman? How horrible for you.
Right.
Women are the most powerful. My father.
It's one of those things like when they're like, you throw like a girl, and I'm like, and you throw like a 3-year-old. I don't understand why that's relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And
do I hit like a man? No. I hit like me. So, but I'll knock you out. Like, I don't. My left cross is wicked, y'all. And it lands every time. But I mean, it's what, when men feel put down by being compared to women, what does that say about how we all feel about women?
Yeah, exactly. And when gays argue about the masculine and feminine, and the feminine being the wrong thing to be,
correct.
What are we saying about women?
Correct.
It's the same.
Correct.
It's the same coin, different sides.
Correct.
I know it gets stuff mixed up, but you know what I mean. Same side of a different corner or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, we're just as misogynistic as straight men, and ours is.
I find a big issue in the gay community, and I think a lot of gay men feel like they can get away with it because they're not actually hitting on women, but they grab boobs, they comment on my breasts all the time as if it's like normal conversation, and I'm like, whip your dick out. I want to judge it and talk about it. It's just normal conversation. I'm not trying to have sex with you, so it shouldn't be offensive, right?
Right.
But this is like. holdovers.
Keep your hands to yourself, people.
Mm-hmm. But these are pre 2000 holdovers because honestly, you would have been my fag hag in 1995.
Oh, hardcore.
You would have been my fag.
Hardcore.
And I hated the term fag hag even back then.
Mm-hmm. I like the term fruit fly. I think that one's more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel like a fairy.
As someone once said, how come she just can't be Wendy? Why does she have to be my fag hag or my fruit fly? Why can't she just be
that was back
Wendy?
when it was, but it was also, this is my gay friend. This is my this friend. This is my this friend. And everything had a label, and now we've got so many labels. Now we're trying to kind of just go, this is my friend. Mm-hmm. That's all you have to say. You don't need qualifiers. Mm-hmm. A friend is good enough. This is my friend Joel. Mm-hmm. Not this is my gay friend Joel. This is my black friend Joel. This is my whatever. He's just my friend.
The moment that I hear the words "this is my black friend," I'm out the
door.
I'm walking out the door.
Why do we need qualifiers, guys? Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why do you need that? This is my non-binary friend Wendy. Why is that necessary to the conversation? How does this actually help further the conversation? Mm-hmm. Are you warning everyone?
Have you actually
be careful? She's going to be non-binary in the room.
Have you been introduced that way?
Oh yes.
Oh really?
Or I've done a lot of fundraising for a lot of causes in my lifetime, and some of them intersect with a lot of conservatives, and I've ended up with a lot of conservatives on the same side trying to raise money for things like child care, cancer, that kind of stuff. And I walk in the room and they're like, oh, the queen of the gays is here.
The queen of the gays wouldn't even call you the queen of the gays.
That's what I say. And of course, I'm like, you know what? If some of the queens heard you call me that, they'd be up here in a market, like a New York minute, whooping that ass.
Walked up.
Here.
All it would take is one gay to go, I'm sorry, I don't know who you think this bitch is, but she is not the queen of the gays. No. Trust me.
No. Not even close. Who is the queen of the gays? Let's discuss. Mm-hmm. RuPaul?
I mean, if they're...
So far.
Well,
she has all these drag races in different countries now.
And all over the world.
All over the world now.
Literally international.
It's
you know
going
what?
fast.
I cannot wait until... You know what? I would love to see Drag Race go state to state. Drag Race Texas. Drag Race Alabama. Drag Race Louisiana.
Nasty.
We've already seen Mistress Isabel. Having Mistress Isabel and then now having other Texas people there, it would have been so much drama. So much. Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but Mistress Isabel made last season.
She made it the best.
Oh, Mistress Isabel represented Houston so well.
We all knew Sasha Colby was going to win. I mean, from day one, we all knew she was going to win. That bitch came on and she said, I'm winning. And she won.
She won.
But Mistress Isabel, oh my God. Mm-hmm. You know, the first time she walked on stage, I said, who the hell is this? I'm sorry. That's what I did. I'm sorry to you, Mistress Isabel. That's what I did. I went, who the hell is that? I know a lot of the queens and I don't know you. Ooh. That's what I said at first. Mm-hmm. But then, the longer I started watching her, the more I realized, oh, that's a Houston queen, right? Yeah. That's Houston drag right there. I'm like, no wonder I'm like, no wonder RuPaul doesn't invite us that often, because I know how we can be. And we all have been, this is what I love. Jonathan, this is why I'm so glad that you're on the show today, because you're actually... A lot of people don't seem to understand when it comes to gay bars. You need 3 things in a gay bar to make a successful gay bar, to me. Mm-hmm. You need fabulous drag queens. Mm-hmm. You need hot bartenders. Mm-hmm. And hot is relative. Whatever you think is hot, that's on you.
We like a variety.
I like a variety of hots.
Some otters, some bears, and twinks.
I live in Houston, Texas. The most diverse city in the country. Yep. And there is hotness of all flavors.
Everywhere. But just, I gotta always shout out to the bear community. I love you guys. Mm-hmm. You sexy, furry motherfuckers.
All the furries.
I love it.
But you have to have your go-go dancers. You have to. Those are 3 things that you have to have for a successful
and karaoke.
gay bar. Not karaoke.
No, it's in every single one of them.
Well, it's there.
It's in every bar now.
But for the history of the gay bar, when you think of the history of the gay bar,
yeah,
those are the 3 things that you
gotta
always
have
have
queens,
to have.
you gotta have dancers,
and you gotta have fantastic bartenders.
You gotta have good bartenders. That's true.
Those are the 3 things.
You know, and like Houston, our bar scene really is pretty phenomenal. I wish the bars got along better because they really are amazing.
But I like the drama.
They're amazing. Like, and all of them have something completely unique to bring to the table. I don't know why they can't see that they all work together.
Because they're all gay. And they're all old school gays, and they love the drama. And you know us, all old school gays, we are.
But the drama has to stop.
It doesn't ever though.
Well, you millennials are killing that. So
good.
I mean, at one point, someone has to take over.
Somebody has to come in and say, you know what, we're not going to do that.
That's right.
And that's what I love about the young people now. It's like, the things that I had to tolerate, they're like, no, we're not. No, we're done.
No, I love this younger generation coming up that are just like, when they go for job interviews, they interview the employer.
Yeah, exactly.
What are your policies in HR if something should happen and I'm sexually assaulted?
You know what one of my bosses said at work? What? Never mind.
We're gonna edit this portion of the
never
show
mind.
out.
I forgot about
a past boss, right? Yeah, not your current.
Okay, not my current boss, but a boss 15 years ago. One said, you know what? We are having. I can't. Nobody wants to work. I can't find a waiter. I can't find this and that. Blah 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 blah. No one wants to work. I'm like, no. These kids ain't doing. These kids spent $90,000 to go to college. Because who told them to go to college? Their parents. Who said that? No, I don't want you to be a garbage man, a plumber, an electrician, a construction worker. You're going to motherfucking college. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get $150,000 in debt for the rest of your life, and that's what you're going to do because you're going to get a good job at a corporation. The problem is that I, as a waiter, server, whatever you want to call me, end up making more money than some of the people working in corporate.
Correct.
And I'm like, so wait a minute. So you are $150,000 in debt, and you have the nerve enough to treat me like crap. But I know how much you make, and I can tell you, I make more than you. I know what you're doing for your entry level position at that corporation. Intern, you're not making any money, so don't come with the attitude.
I just don't understand.
And then when you do get the job, you're still not making.
I just think we need that's such an ingrained capitalist thing that we do, or I've internalized capitalism so much. Like, if I'm not making money, I don't feel like I'm worthy as a human being.
Yeah.
And I think we need to drift away from that.
And you know what? That's what the young people are doing. They're talking capitalism like nothing, and how the evils of capitalism. TikTok is the thing. TikTok loves the evils of capitalism. I've learned so much about capitalism. On
TikTok. I learned so much on TikTok.
I've learned so much on TikTok. I have, even if it's something unbelievable, I will research it. Just because I'm like, this can't be real.
Yep.
It cannot be real. And I will research it. You are making me work.
The good thing, though, is someone probably already duetted with the video and added some more information to it. So
you see more information.
Yeah, exactly. And the discourse between
I love it.
Woke and unwoke.
Yes, love that.
And the woke seems to be having a good time.
but
everybody else is sleeping.
Everybody else is.
But you also see now that people will call somebody out if something's doing wrong, and everybody immediately it looks at them and researches them, even looks for their jobs, and like, oh my god, the internet sometimes can be scary. You'll be surprised. Like, one small video, like, oh, this girl was doing a video at the Astros game, and then 2 girls were making fun of her, and then they immediately found out who they were.
That one? Yeah.
Yes, I saw.
And I'm just like, oh my god, the power of TikTok is...
The power of social media. Let me tell you something right now. If you are going out in public to do anything, you better watch your back, because if you do something stupid, There's 15 phones going up. 15 immediately.
You're about to be famous.
As soon as the word action happens that is stupid, that phone goes up.
Have you seen those TikToks where they do live? They're pairs and it's like live streaming, and like some of them are like racist to the other person. And I'm like, are you seriously like doing this on TikTok?
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to go well for you.
Yeah. But they feel righteous at the moment. Like they feel like they're right. And then, sometimes I always think shame is such a useless emotion. Mm-hmm. It really is. But it's such a useful tool in getting people to behave.
Yeah, because look, if you made a mistake, let it go.
Yeah.
And there's honestly,
but we shame people into behaviors all the time. They tried to do it to the gay community. Mm-hmm. Oh. They shame us for being gay and try to turn us straight. And it's sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, but that's but that's something that's been going on for hundreds, thousands of years.
Oh yes.
Unless you're an indigenous culture, then indigenous cultures they ate it up. They love that shit. Mm-hmm. They love the third genders. They worship it. It was in all their every culture on the planet, including Africa. And I have an issue with Africa right now, and their colonizer idea of Christianity really bugs the fuck out of me. It really bugs the hell out of me. These people came in, took over your country, forced you into slavery, did all this stuff to you, and yet you accept their Christianity wholeheartedly, including the gay parts, which, by the way, being gay in Uganda, death penalty. This man was talking about the death penalty. Yeah. Leaders of the world had to talk him down from death penalty to just a few years in prison. Yep. That's the best we can get? Yep. Rwanda, on the other hand, gay marriage is legal. Yep. I'm going to Rwanda. As a gay man, I can't go to, there are 57 countries in Africa I cannot go to and feel safe. Yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of countries that we aren't able to safely go to.
That we're not, and that's in Africa, the continent of Africa. Let me remind everybody, Africa is not a country; it's a continent. One more person tells me that Africa is a country.
Research
it. My God! If DeSantis becomes president, with this country.
Wait, someone actually said that to you, like in person, face to face? Did you slap him?
I was on a college campus. I didn't know what to think. I mean, you're in college and you don't know that Africa is a continent? We're on a college campus.
They probably went to school in Texas.
Sounds like they went to school in Alabama. At least in Texas, they know what.
Well, I guess if you don't know, you don't know.
They kind of know. Kind of. We're a little richer than Alabama.
A little bit.
We're a lot richer than Alabama. We just don't know how to spend money correctly. Well, no, we know how to spend money not on anybody poor, gay, black, or anything else.
We are one second cousin marriage away from Alabama, you guys. Like, we are not that far off.
No, we're the South with money, and that's the honest to God truth. Yep, we're the South with money.
That's it.
Louisiana ain't got no money. Alabama and Mississippi ain't got no money. They are the poorest states. Actually, the absolute poorest state is West Virginia, but they're near the bottom. Texas might be like number 20 or whatever when it comes to wealth, but they are at the bottom. I mean, they're at the bottom, and they got all this money that they could have used for social. Brett Favre doing what he did in Alabama, I think it was Alabama or Mississippi, making the government pay taking money out of welfare people's pockets to build a volleyball stadium for his daughter. Yep. The man is a multimillionaire. Yep. Multimillionaire. And now he's running around talking about, I need everybody to leave me alone. I didn't have anything to do with that, blah, blah. Yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing. You ain't fooling nobody. Act a fool. Don't act a fool. You are not fooling anybody. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, man. I think we ought to take a break before we come back and really talk to Jonatan about.
Yeah, because we are really I can't
questions.
You're not off the hook yet.
No,
I know I'm not. Don't worry.
Because in the next part of the show, we're gonna do a deep dive. We're gonna talk about mental health.
Yep.
And I think it's very important. I've always wanted to have an episode where we talked about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, thankfully enough, someone who's semi-qualified. She's working on her degree.
Mm-hmm.
She's almost there. But, almost there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost there. So this is the most qualified person I can get for right now. Until we get the PhD.
You're the most qualified person. Because we're going to talk about your journey.
Because we're going to talk about your journey. But it's a journey that every person in the gay community is going to hear.
Yes. It's something we can all relate to.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. So so everybody grab a glass of wine, grab a cocktail, grab a cup of coffee or whatever your drink of choice. Yeah. Take a break, go to the bathroom.
Snacks!
We'll be right back. We're back. We're about to get into some stuff.
Some deep shit.
Mm-hmm. Deep. We're talking mental health here.
Who has the lowest voice?
Me.
I do.
No, I do.
No,
I do.
Hello? Hi.
All right. Now that we're all warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jonathan, one of the reasons we really wanted to have you on the show, aside from the fact that you're fabulous, adorable, talented, and from our town.
And hot.
And hot. Yes.
I'm lusting right now.
Oh my God. Okay. So now that we know that Joel is lusting after you, let's talk about your mental health.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Was that appropriate? I feel like that was somehow inappropriate. Are you saying that I'm the cause of his issue?
Oh, no.
No. Oh, he goes, oh, no.
Because I can finish him out.
Ooh. Ooh. I will be the cause and completion of your problems. Okay, so we know you've had quite a journey recently.
Yes, I have.
And we would love to get into that because I think that mental health and being open about it is so important, especially in our community. Mm-hmm. Our society as a whole right now is severely lacking in the ability to get care, mm-hmm. Options for care, because there is no one size fits all solution for any person or situation. Mental health is a really important issue that I think we need to be focusing on as a society, but especially as a community. And part of that starts by being open and honest about it, and removing the stigma. So if you want to talk to us a little bit about what it is that you've gone through and how you've overcome it, I would love to hear your story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, before we start though, I'm sorry. Before we start, because it's really going to lead into a question I'm going to ask you later, which is, why did you decide to go into this? Why did you decide? When did you, in your journey, decide, hey, I'm going to be a go-go dancer?
We'll get there.
Because the entertainment field is a bitch.
Yeah.
And dealing with your mental health.
Under normal circumstances, when you're not under the microscope, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
So how it started was I did entertaining and dancing as a charity event, actually. I'm not going to say which bar, but trying to block that off in my life. But at this bar, it happened for a charity event. After a while, I danced. I worked there, trying to know drag queens, know these people, have a good time. But later on, people would see me dancing, would tell me like, "Oh, your dancing's bad." That's that saying instead of uplifting, mm-hmm. hurt me. And then there'll be time that I danced. JR's drag queen told me, "Hey, get the hell out of there, get out of the stage." And I started listening to bad comments back then, and I stopped dancing. I stopped for a while. Nobody would support me. The person that I was living with at the time, not gonna say their name, wouldn't help me either. So imagine having people tell me at home, "Oh, you're not good enough. You should stop." That hit me hard, and that was like around 2020.
Okay. Just in time for COVID?
A little bit before, I would say. So, having all those, and my depression hit hard. So after a while, I stopped dancing. I listened to them, unfortunately. And then after a while, 2001 comes in. I slowly start dancing a little bit here and there.
I'm sorry. When was this?
2001.
2000. Oh, you.
No, sorry, 2021.
I'm
sorry.
like, weren't you just
sorry.
2001? Were you dancing when you were 6? I mean,
like, back to the future.
Mm-hmm. No, sorry, 2021. Sorry, it's 2020. I don't know that. Sorry.
Dude,
so yeah,
it's still 2000 for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
You're
the thing. I'm a nice baby. Sorry, yeah. 2021 comes in. I start dancing little by little. I'm always that type of person that has always been shirtless, out in the bars. I'm always a person that would be out, be out and about shirtless. And rarely I would get people tell me like, "Oh, you're wearing clothes. You're in a shirt." Like, I'm like,
who are you? I've never met you before.
Mm-hmm. And at times,
no, you're not. You're wearing a shirt.
And they would be like, they'll look at me and be like, take it off. I'm like, no. I'm like, not right now. Like, wait till midnight. Wait till midnight. That's a good time to, for everybody to be shirtless.
Yeah.
So I'm always a shirtless one out there. 90% of the time I'll be shirtless when I'm out and about on the weekend. Rarely during the week I'll have a shirt on. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh, at times back then I was a little bit more bigger. People will just put your shirt on. I'm like, no. I'm like, I just want to be who I am, shirtless. There's not many people hairy out there, so I'm like, hey, why not? And, just take my shirt off. So ever since then, like, I've been out having a harness at times, come out and, be shirtless because there's not many people out there that are hairy, big, and proud of who they are.
Yeah.
Can I interject with this for real quick? I think I've known you now for 2, maybe 3 years. You've been a friend of the show for quite some time. I'm trying to remember when you were big, because you've always been super hot and sexy to me. So I'm trying to remember.
I felt bigger. So I mean, now
I remember you going through that journey where you were really transforming your body a lot, and you were working very, very hard to get where you're at right now. Mm-hmm. I know. I remember you going through that journey and your before pictures. Like you would take pictures throughout your journey with progress. And I don't know, there just was always something about you that made me very proud to know you, because you seemed, even when I know you were struggling, because we talked a couple of times about it, and but you always picked yourself up, and you always moved forward, and so I kind of want to talk a little bit about how you do that. What is it inside you when you're in a situation, and a lot of our community is in this situation because we're ostracized by the very people that are supposed to love us. So we choose our family a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And now when even your chosen family isn't supporting you, and the people who are still supposed to be there again turn their backs on you, what is it that you tell yourself that makes you get up and say, I'm going to do this anyway?
Telling myself that I'm the number one believer. That the number one person that has to believe yourself has to be you yourself.
That's right.
And if you can't believe that, then how can you, push yourself forward?
Yeah.
Because that's something that I've been taught. Like, if you might not have the support from family, chosen family, from friends, you have to believe yourself. Because if you can't, then you're always going to be in that mindset of like, just like, oh, well, I don't have the support from anybody or anything. No, I don't. It's something that many people don't understand, and I'm just like, I'm then in mindset like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it because I want to, because I know I believe myself, I'm gonna be able to make it.
Yeah.
If it happens or not, it's a learning experience.
Right.
I shouldn't be sad, bad about it. Contrary, I should be happy about it because I did it. And that's my mindset. Like, I'll work on it for myself. I work at it because I want to. And
well, fortune favors the bold. Mm-hmm. It does. And, I find that, there, conventional wisdom is a very dangerous thing, and it is permeated throughout every society from every corner of the world, and our little community is no different. We like to talk about and preach about it's okay to be different, it's okay to stand out, it's okay to be yourself, it's okay to do that, and then turn around and cut down every single person we see in that club because she wasn't wearing nails for her performance, or she didn't have boobs, or her lip sync was off, or his dance moves weren't as good as they should have been, or he's too dark or too light or whatever. You can't sit there as a community and preach acceptance and love outside of the norm and turn around and cut each other down like that. We need to be supporting each other more than ever because the outside is coming for us again, you guys.
Unfortunately.
And they're coming fast.
And they're coming hard. And we need to get together with each other. Otherwise, they're going to win.
We need to get together as a community, most importantly.
They're going to win.
Can I'm going to interject just one little thing, because this is still your interview. And I want to make sure that you understand it's still your interview. And no. When he's looking at me like I'm crazy. No. I was going to say a little thing about the community. I am still very optimistic. I'm seeing the things that are done right now. Yes. I'm watching things that are being done right in the community. I'm watching the conversations that are starting to happen in the community. I am been watching the LGBT of Houston. I mentioned them before, and I for some reason love mentioning them because they come across my Facebook page, and every now and then someone in the group will say something that I just had to say something. And I think one of my biggest things is dating, but I want to talk about that later. That's another thing because I still want to focus on.
Oh, we're going to get into dating.
Yeah, we're going to get into dating. I still want to make sure that I'm focusing on you because your journey, the more I listen to your journey, the more that I'm starting to hear similarities to what my journey is right now.
Right.
And what I've been going through lately. So
the biggest thing that you struggle with, what I'm hearing, is depression.
Yes.
Do you deal with, are there anything other?
Just a few years ago, I've experienced anxiety. Mm-hmm. It happened, at a bar at College Station. And, part of it was my fault. And part of it was my roommate's fault. But I don't want to get details into that. But that was the first time that I've ever had, an anxiety attack ever in my life.
Do you want to talk about what an anxiety attack feels like to you?
An anxiety attack felt like you can't think straight. You just, in that moment, everything just becomes like a blur, like a fuzzy blur. My face started to shake. I wasn't able to speak. I just closed myself, and in that moment, I'm just like, I just don't want to be around people. I just need a moment, just emptiness. I just need to do
overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, and I just want to let all these emotions out.
Yeah.
And many people don't realize that when people have anxiety attacks, they need their space or anything like that. And at times, people are like, "Oh no, you will feel better." I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's a process. It's you need to find someone who really understands what anxiety attacks and panic attacks and all that are.
So, what are some of the things that you do to help, when you feel an attack coming on? Have you found ways to cope with that yet?
I do. One of them is just I was taught breathing techniques. So
breathing techniques are great.
Just breathe in, breathe out, count to 1 through 10 slowly. That's things that I've been taught. Either when I have at home or I have a moment, I meditate. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I've done. Meditation has helped me in many ways, and it's been a slight hobby I've done every so often. I've posted. So that's something that I really enjoy and that really helps me calm myself.
Those are great tools.
How long do you meditate for?
Just very shortly, 10 minutes or so. At times I did it longer. At the same time, I incorporated yoga with it. So that's helped me more with my flexibility now than it has. just stretching, relaxing, listening to like music, and that's the real reason why I always have like lights. Is because the lights calm me down, and it just like I don't want to be anywhere else. I just want to be here. Like, it makes me a nice safe space per se. So.
Those are really good tools. There's lots of tools that you can use when you're having a panic attack. Personally, I liked the breathing technique is an actual physical one. Because when you're focusing on your breathing, you slow your breathing down. Like one of the things I do is I breathe in for 5 counts and I breathe out for 3. And then rest for 2, then breathe in 5. So your brain's having to think and focus really, really hard on this. In the meantime, it's getting your brain process off of the panic. And then it's also changing your nervous system. So you go from fight or flight back to your autonomic nervous system. So everything calms down. You literally calm yourself down when you breathe. Breathing is a phenomenal tool.
Yes.
Distraction is a great tool. Meditation is phenomenal. I'm so glad that works for you. It doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody can do it, but if it works for you, fantastic.
What's can I ask you now? I'm fascinated by this. What do you? So let me put it to when you said distraction, what do you mean by a distraction?
So one of the things that happens to a lot of people when they're having a panic attack, this happens to me, is I get overwhelmed and my thoughts start racing, right? And it's like a plate of spaghetti. It goes from one thought to another thought, goes into another thought, goes into another thought. And the thing that you have to do is like one of the things that I did was like look for something blue.
Like
and I just start looking like, okay, this cap is blue. And then all of a sudden I'm not thinking about.
You just derail your brain from whatever.
What was such a nightmare. So one of the tools that you can do, I send to a lot of my friends when they're having a panic attack. If they reach out to me and they're like, I'm having a panic attack, I send them this little GIF. It's a meme. And it says, find 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can smell. You know what I'm saying? And you focus on these things, right? Go count how many bricks are in the wall. You know what I'm saying? The dumbest thing, like the most minute, little, insignificant thing, and you focus on it.
Yeah,
and
it
takes away. Brain. Yes, it takes away a lot of the mental anguish of it. You still have to deal with the physical aspect of a panic attack, but where it starts is up here, right? The biggest thing is that I found when it comes to being able to treat, especially anxiety, is just recognizing your triggers. When you know that you're about to be triggered, it's a lot easier to manage it than it is to walk into a situation and go, I don't know why this is freaking me out, but it is.
Trigger is something that I've learned, so that is something that, like, for example, like I think one of the problems that actually triggered my anxiety was drinking.
Drinking?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't drink as much anymore. I would barely drink a margarita. That's what I can drink, but nothing like a vodka or like a gin. Or like no, I'll get too drunk, and then
you're right.
I started getting anxious at first because my body's not used to like drinking, and I'm just like at times when I get like, okay, I know I'm tipsy. I won't get more because then I'll just get anxious and be like, you know what, I just rather just go home.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore at that point.
And so for me, like it's helped me a lot to not drink anymore, and it's beneficial for my mental health, honestly. And
yeah, I can say alcohol was a huge contributor to my anxiety.
It was it was to mine too.
And it took me like forever to realize it was the fucking alcohol.
It took me
because it's so permeated through our society and especially in our community because our only safe spaces are bars.
Right.
And you know the irony of that is the fact that in the early 90s the bars weren't the only safe space. We go to bookstores. We had a bookstore cafe right here on Montrose and Waugh. And I would spend more time at the bookstore cafe than I would spend at the bars. Yeah. We don't have an alternative anymore because this is no longer a gayborhood like it was back then.
Well, and part of it I think is too that we're getting what we want, right? We're being accepted into society, so we're moving out.
Yeah.
and like we're in the Woodlands, and we're where I live out in Crosby and Huffman, and we're out in, we're everywhere now because it is more acceptable. Mm-hmm. Like we're not having the parade in Montrose; it's at City Hall.
The funny thing,
like it's becoming.
That's a good point.
It's becoming more embedded in society, and therefore moving out of society. But there's also the pendulum that's swinging back at us right now. So
the funny thing is that once I posted last week's episode, I've gotten some interesting comments about Pride, and I was like, so what? The funny thing about those comments is that we're still talking about Montrose.
Oh, yes.
Still talking about Montrose.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm like,
it's been years, and it's still a thing. I wasn't even there, and I'm being asked why I don't have it in Montrose, and I'm like,
I'm frustrated.
Where are we going to put it?
I honestly thought that.
There are 850,000, almost 1 million people show up to festival. Where in Montrose can you fit 1 million people?
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Where?
That is...
Tell me where and pay for it.
Especially how these bars are now disappearing little by little now.
Yep.
So, we need to figure a way, because sometimes
I think the new Montrose is going to be Edo, you guys. I think Edo's is the new Montrose.
I think Edo, East Houston is going to be the new Montrose.
Yep.
I really do. I can see the vibe.
It's quirky. Yeah. It's it's very colorful and artistic, and
it's got
character.
You know what it is? It's got culture. Because there's so many different ethnicities in that neighborhood. It's got culture, which is lacking in gentrified neighborhoods.
Totally.
It's lacking in gentrified neighborhoods. When there's, to walk through the neighborhood and to feel, I feel colors when I walk through neighborhoods like this.
Totally.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my God, everything's so colorful, and there's parks, and there's this.
Murals everywhere.
Everywhere. People are riding their bikes up and down.
You go into the restaurants, and it's just color everywhere.
It's just color everywhere, and it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous.
We love it.
I think one of the funny things that was left in a comment was the fact that, wait a minute, one of the biggest reasons why I will not be coming back to Montrose? This is not a neighborhood. It stopped being a neighborhood 20 years ago.
Yep.
So everybody keeps saying, hey, bring it back into my... You know what? This is still Jonathan's episode, so I don't want to go back. But the fact of the matter is that you work in entertainment in this neighborhood. You know how you hear all the talk. You know how it is.
You saying that, I've worked at 4 bars in Montrose.
Yes.
So, I've worked at 2 at Eagle, 2 Prides, and then I worked for 1 for Buddies. Not going to say anything about that one. And then I forgot what other one I worked for. So I worked at 4 Prides, and it's interesting to see how things have been here in Montrose. But I feel like not going to be suitable for if they want it back in Montrose, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen because
it can't.
One, bars need to get together. Which, I'm sorry to say this, but
that was in the first half of the episode. She said it.
So it's something that I agree on and heavily, because these parts need to get together. Despite the drama, despite anything, we need to get together as a community first and foremost, and then how these bars are going to get organized if that happens, because everyone's going to go with their one piece, come here, but it's going to be better than this one, better than that. That's the issue. Yep. So, and we need to get, find a way how to move the space for people.
It's really not that hard. It's just, you have to quit looking at each other as competition and look at each other as fellow community members. There's room for everybody. That's why I never understood where, like in my industry, it was very much, a lot of people tried to pit me against other singers. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're barking up the wrong tree, because I love that bitch.
I've heard.
You can't make me hate someone because they're fabulous. You can't do that. So I just don't understand why that's necessary. There's room for all of us. We're both successful. We can all have things. If you want to do a block party, right? theme it out. This year, all right, we're going to do the dunk tank. You guys do 1,000 Nights Under the Sun. Mm-hmm. They're going to do Great Gatsby. These guys are going to do whatever. You know, like that's what you got to do. You got to get together and quit competing and give everybody a piece.
And you know what the funny thing is that I can't believe I'm saying this. This is weird for me. I'm going through a journey, Jonathan, so you have to understand. I now realize I am now part of entertainment in Houston. Just running this podcast because I'm hearing the stories and I'm like, wait a minute. I remember being at Buddy's and I had to deal with this, and this at Buddy's. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm part of Houston entertainment. Oh my God, I have stories. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I have stories. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did this happen?
Welcome to entertainment.
How did this happen?
Welcome to entertainment.
I was just a little podcast that was just trying to figure out what it was. And now I'm like, people are walking up to me now like, hey, I heard your episode. It was quite good. Or, hey, that video that you guys did on Instagram, wow, that's fantastic. And I'm like, I had to spend a little bit of time on the phone with Wendy because I was going through my own thing because I hadn't been on the air in almost a year and a half. I had a nervous breakdown. I lost my home. I went through some stuff. I slowly had to rebuild back from scratch. And by the way, rebuilding back from scratch meant I had to go inward. I had to look inward to figure out why I'm in the situation that I'm in. Why did the things happen to me that happened? I had to look inward. And looking inward was not fun.
It's hard.
It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. And when I had my nervous breakdown, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I hate to say it, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me because as a drag queen once said, I'd had enough officially.
Had it officially.
I'd had enough officially. I had enough and Spunkmeyer and I have had conversations about, I was going through a rough time during COVID and Spunkmeyer was there because he was doing a life coach thing. By the way, I forgot to mention that Spunkmeyer is working towards being a life coach as well. Are you still?
Am I?
Well, I mean, it's been a part of the conversation, I guess, for the last 3 years. So I don't know if you're still doing it or not. But at one point, during 2020,
I think you just called me a life coach. I was like, okay, I'll try it
because
out.
Because in 2020, you were like, hey, I think I'm going to be a life coach.
I was into that for a while.
Yeah, you were a life coach for a little while. And I was like,
want that to be a TV show.
What?
You as a life coach.
I
think it'd be really funny if like you were terrible most of the time and then like every episode you drop one moment where everybody's like
brilliant nugget.
That's amazing.
By the way,
and they're confused and then also amazed and just I think it'd be freaking hilarious.
You literally just described his life coaching. You literally just described it.
He does have life coaching skills.
A bunch of idiocy, and then one great moment where I was like, "Oh my God, he is so right."
Joe, that's not true. Come on now.
The only reason I say that is just because your delivery would be so flawless. Mm-hmm. It would be so flawless because I'm having a blepharospasm.
Oh.
My eye keeps twitching.
Oh, I didn't notice.
And I'm like...
Is that what that's called? Because mine does that sometimes.
Oh.
Talking to you like this, and I look like a crazy person. Anyway, sorry. Mm-hmm. Your delivery would be so flawless because you can deadpan so well. You can deadpan so well. Like, you just look at him and he can be like... And then you'll say something, and I'm like, is he serious? Or is he fucking with me?
Can you... imagine...
The thing is, a lot of time, I'm not sure if I ever know.
I know!
How do you think I feel? And I'm his friend. There are times that he and I will be talking, and he'll say something to me, and I'm like... Is he serious? Or... I don't know. what is he saying to me?
How
could
do I
it mean?
respond to this
What does it
properly?
He'll just say something so deadpan and yet be so. I don't even know if it's being serious.
Oh,
And
I
he just-
always just laugh because it's
he just
hysterical
says something
regardless.
sometimes, and I'm like,
it's hysterical to me because the situation is hysterical.
mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm having to think these thoughts at all,
Oh, it was.
and I love it.
It makes you think like,
Yeah.
Oh, it was brilliant at
Come on,
Comic Palooza. It was brilliant because when we were having so many technical issues.
Oh man.
Oh my God, he was letting it fly. He was letting me have it most of the time. And I'm like, I'm doing the best I can here. What are we? He goes, Joel, you need to come up with a solution because I don't know what's happening. I keep trying to tell you what to do here. You're not listening, so you need to come up with a solution. Or, you know what? I don't even want to be in the video. I'm just going to stay behind the camera.
Yeah, that was for the cameras were on there.
I know. But I was like,
oh my God.
at one moment, I was like, oh my God. And Chris is like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. And Chris is like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. I will be right back. And I went in the bathroom and screamed my head off. Screamed my head off. Because I'm like, that has never happened to me before. That has never happened to me. And honestly, that is going down my mental health road because some of the tricks that I picked up from now, when you check in the bin tab, okay. Luckily, I had a couple of options. I could do inpatient, which would have meant I would have been in the hospital for about 30 days, or outpatient, which meant I just needed to come in for counseling, that kind of thing. We need to see if we need to be on medications. Of course, I need to take care of a couple of health issues first before I can get on medication, so I need to take care of those first. But going through outpatient, I learned a lot of coping skills because I realized that I had suffered from a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
I did not realize how much I was the most anxiety-ridden person on the planet. Wow. And I did not realize how much anxiety.
Because you're used to it. It's normal.
And my panic attacks were horrific. They were horrific. I could be perfectly fine in a moment, but as soon as I step into a situation that completely terrifies me, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack at that moment. I can't breathe. All I want to do is get out of that situation. I want to run. I literally have to force myself to stay in a situation.
That's how I describe it when people ask me, how does a panic attack feel to you? And it's like, it feels like you're being chased, but you can't go anywhere. Like you're trapped, but you're being chased.
It's like when what's it called? It happened to me one time in life, and I think it happens to everybody. Sleep demons. That one time when you cannot sleep paralysis. That one time you cannot wake up.
That
and
dude
you think you see something in the corner, and you're trying to wake up and everything else. Yeah, that's how I felt during a panic attack. Like there was something coming at me, and there was nothing I could.
Your life is in
just
danger.
frozen there.
You can't do anything about it.
I can't do.
You are sitting on the plane. It is going down, and you are going down with it. Like that is just it's a horrible, horrible feeling.
And people who haven't had one yet, they don't. It's not just like you're not just panicking about something. It's like you know when you had a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like,
you know when
there's
you had
a market difference.
It's you want to call 911.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I once had a panic attack so bad in the middle of a busy
bad was it?
dinner. It was so bad. It was so bad that I looked at a guest and said, hey, I think I might either be having a stroke or a heart attack, so I'm not going to wait on you anymore. I'm going to go call an ambulance right now. And the guy that I was waiting on, he worked in the medical center. He was a doctor in the medical center. And he sat me outside, and we went through the whole thing.
Wow.
He calmed me down. He held my wrist, took my pulse, everything else. We went through all this. He goes, do you have this? Are you smelling toast? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? We went through the whole thing, and he said, you're having a severe panic attack. You just need to go home, calm down.
Take a bubble bath.
Do whatever it is that you need to do. And I think when it comes to mental health and the gay community as well, because alcohol is such a part of our community, we use alcohol to calm ourselves down.
The substance abuse is a very serious issue in society, but particularly in our culture, because a lot of us are so damaged from our upbringing and from being who we are in this society. So it's not a great coping mechanism, you guys.
It's a terrible one.
It's a terrible one.
Terrible.
So, do not drink your feelings. And if you feel like you need to drink to make it through the day, there are options for you. Maybe we can get some put up on the video and
because that's just not sustainable to go there.
If you feel like you need help with mental health issues, there is also help available for you too. We are so lucky here in Houston to have the Montrose Center. It does offer therapy on a sliding scale. So if you can't afford to go to the doctor, they can work with you. They have therapists. They have a lot available to you. So, and it's really easy to get in. If you're having an emergency and you need to see someone right away, if they're open, you just go in, fill out a packet. They will get someone to see you right then and there. And it is important to ask for help. You must ask for help. The last thing you're going to want to do when you feel like that is ask for help, but that is exactly what you need to do. When you are depressed, the last thing you want to do is get up and get moving, but that is exactly what you need to do. There is help available, and it is necessary. Get help. You need a support structure to be successful.
And don't stop. Like you might try something and it doesn't work. Like
find something else. There are a lot of different options. And if you don't like your therapist, find another one. There are so many therapists available. It's okay if you don't like that one. It's okay to say, I don't like this one. Don't go to them. It doesn't matter if they're qualified to be your therapist or not. You are the patient. They work for you.
They're trying to make you feel better, and you're making you feel better. So
and if they're not making you feel better, go find someone who will. But don't give up. Do not give up. Ask for help. Find someone you can talk to about it that is a safe place. There are lots of places you can call. You can now text the suicide hotline.
You sure can.
You don't even have to call. You can text, and someone will be there for you.
Reach out to people within our community that you can trust. And I know there's not many people, but I am that one type of person to help out, talk to, if anything. So please, by all means, reach out to me.
There's so much available, and so many amazing people in our community, and people like you, Jonathan, that you do help a lot of folks in our community. You do it very quietly.
I do.
You do it very quietly, but it's noticeable. Your presence is very felt, and you should be very proud.
You should
be very proud.
I've always been, ever since the first time we met, I always thought you would go places. You're going to do stuff. Well, you are going to do stuff.
Look how things from back then till now. I've been, like I said, dancing at San Antonio, Austin. I'm getting some offers from out of state. I'm working on it.
Oh, she's traveling home.
So slowly, I'm finding a way.
But you know what?
Cool.
You know what I love about your journey, because your journey is helping my journey. Because I'm watching you. You're dealing with all your mental health issues. And yet you said, you know what? I'm going to get into entertainment. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. That is the bravest thing to do for a lot of people who don't have mental health issues. To want to do something, I'm not going to say crazy, but to want to do something that is...
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Entertainment's crazy.
Entertainment is
crazy.
I think
having mental health issues is a prerequisite to
probably
be in entertainment.
I still hear to this day, like how some entertainers make fun of me and all that. I'm just like, why are you still making fun of me? Is it because you see something that you want to do that you probably can't, or the jealousy or the drama? I'm like, no, don't. And I tell people, like, I'm here to have fun, have a great time, make people laugh with my dancing, involve them. At times, I would try to involve people in my dancing out in public. Oh, hey, here, come dance this number with me, or be involved. And all these entertainers coming to me and try to dig me in a way. And like I hear it, and when I see them, I act nice and all that. And they're like, "Why are you so being nice to me?" Well, I said shit to you. I'm like I'm trying to be nice. By all means, like I don't care.
People
like,
hurt people.
Yeah, hurt people, and I'm not that type of person to be hurting others. Like, no, let's have fun, have a great time. If you want to do this, you want to be drama, then by all means, like, stay away.
I love haters. My goal to like destroy a hater is to become their best friend.
Let me ask Wendy this question because I feel like this applies to both me and Jonathan on a certain level. I think it does. Can you tell us what kind of things that we need to do what mental exercises or things that we need to do to steel ourselves when we have to deal with the haters?
So, a lot of the tools that I used from that is first of all, what other people think about me is none of my business. Mm-hmm. But if they feel the need to tell me how they feel about me, then they're going to get to hear my opinion too.
Now, a lot of us. Let's my mind. Okay, let's be honest here. But a lot of us aren't you, Wendy.
No, but here's the thing. The thing that you have to understand is that is a reflection on them, not on you. Okay. You cannot internalize what they say about you. Mm-hmm. Because that is on them. That is their view of you. Mm-hmm. That is not who you are. If you know who you are, what you want, and what you've done to get there, there is very little anybody can do to get in your way.
But is there like some kind of mental technique that I could use to like shield myself to go, hey, I'm not.
First of all, ask, why do you care?
I'm not fucking with you.
Ask yourself.
Why do you care? Why do you care what they think? Why do you care what they think?
No, it's not that I care. It's more in the lines of.
But you do care. It wouldn't bother you.
Yes. I kind of. No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
You're right. It does bother me a little bit. But in order to. What I'm asking is what do I need to do to get to
you just need to get more in the groove of what you're doing. I feel like whenever I'm in the groove of where I'm going, like none of that.
Well, the thing that I found out is that they can talk all they want, but they can't stop me. Mm-hmm.
So here's one.
They can't stop me.
But
what are they going to do?
I know, but see, here's where I'm having a
talk some more.
Here's where I'm having a problem. When people in general say, Joel, you just need to buckle up and handle it and blah 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 blah. It's not as easy as a lot of people. I was not trained from childhood to adulthood to learn how to buck myself up.
Can you give us an example of what you're talking about?
Okay. Certain situations where I have been made fun of, where I didn't know how to respond. Or
with the podcast stuff or something unrelated?
No, it's not. It's. I'm sorry. I realize that I have a lot of work to do when it comes to the podcast. So you can't come at me with, "Hey, you're terrible." Well, some person said, "Hey, you are not entertaining. I don't know why you're doing this." And I said, "You know what? I don't care. It's my podcast. I'm going to do whatever I want."
So, but the point I was getting at is that it's a decision to let those people get to you. Mm-hmm. You decide to listen to them. You decide to let their input in. You decide to let them affect your actions.
But there were points in learning from therapy. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I've been out of therapy for a little bit simply because I'm still trying to figure out how to afford it. I'm going through I'm talking to people at Montrose trying to figure out the sliding scale stuff, but I'm trying to figure out how to afford it. Plus, I got other stuff going on as well. So for me, it's more just trying to find some little things that I can do internally where I can turn off the noise and focus on what I need to focus on. Because I have not, and I've told this to therapists before, I understand that there are certain mechanisms in the brain that you can turn off to not listen to the haters. Well, and a lot of people have those skills to do that.
You have to ask yourself certain questions. Mm-hmm. One, is their opinion going to help you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is their opinion valid? Because I'm sorry, not all opinions are. Mm-hmm.
They're not.
I don't care what Karen thinks sitting on her couch watching me on TV thinks about how my performance is. Bitch, get off the ass, get on TV yourself, and then you can tell me how to perform. Now, if Steven Spielberg had something to say about my opinion, my performance, I'd listen.
Because I feel
I'd listen. But first of all, so you have to ask, is their opinion qualified? Is it something worth listening to?
Will it help you?
Almost never is.
Will it help you?
The second thing is it going to help you reach your goals? If it's not, it's just noise. You turn it off and you walk away.
And the more often you do that, the easier it gets.
Right. And the other thing is this going to stop me? Can this person affect my ability to do what I want to do? And 99.999% of the time, they can't do anything but yell about it on the internet. And quite honestly, all that does is drive traffic to your website. So let them talk shit. Start a rumor about yourself.
Oh, I did that one time.
Because when my house caught fire when I was on American Idol, and it became front page news on TMZ. And there were people on there talking about how it had to have been my fault because I wasn't sad enough during my interview. There were people saying that I should have my children taken away from me because my house isn't safe. Well, no shit. It just caught fire. There was just a lot of stuff. And I'm sitting there laughing my ass off at these people because I have ads on my website and they crashed it. I made so much money. Y'all talk some more shit, please.
It gets like they spread you out to the other people. Like, oh my God, did you hear about
money.
No?
Don't get mad, get money. So a
part of my personality latches on to strong personalities because for the longest time, and I think we talked about imposter syndrome or something.
Oh yeah, imposter syndrome.
And
is a big
for the
thing.
longest time, I don't even know if I would even say imposter syndrome because I told my therapist this. I have never had a personality. I've never had a personality. I told my therapist this. You know why I told my therapist this? Because I told my therapist that the only reason I had a personality was because of the person I was with. I've never truly had my own personality.
Oh, you're like a chameleon.
Yes. What I am is I latch on.
Right.
Yeah. I'm the ultimate. I'm the Robin to everybody. I realized that a long time. I'm a sidekick. I enhance the main character.
Oh my God, you guys.
I had to define that to a therapist. That is who I thought I was for the longest time.
No, you gotta be the hero of your own story.
I was never the hero because I never believed that I was the hero because I was never told that I was a hero. I was told that I was a caregiver. I was told to take care of my parents who were supposed to be taking care of me, but I'm taking care of them. I was supposed to take care of everybody else. I'm the caregiver. That is the name that was given to me from 6 to 22. And even after I moved out, that was the name that was given to me. And at 22, when I moved out and started my own family in the gay community, what did I become? The caregiver. I became the guy who ran to you, even though I know that you were never going to change or do whatever it is that you're going to do. Because what did Jesus do? Jesus went out there and did it anyway because that was my belief. That if Jesus could do it, I could do it too. But guess what? Jesus died on the cross. I'm exhausted. Jesus had
He's like, nail me to a cross right
Jesus
now.
Jesus was nailed to a cross at 33. He was done with his life. I'm still doing this. And I'm 55. I'm exhausted. Where's my cross? Why am I not nailed to it? That's what I used to think a long time ago because that was my belief. And therapy is changing that. I'm finding my hero. I'm finding I told him the other night, I wrote a script for something that we had to improvise and everything. I wrote a script. I stopped writing 20 years ago because I told myself I was not a writer. Even though everybody around me was telling me, Joel, you're a writer. You should be a writer. No,
oh my God, Phoenix, what were we talking about in the car? When are you a writer? When you're writing. Yeah. That's when you're a writer. That's the only qualification. If you want to be a writer, start writing. You're a writer.
So I stopped writing because I was told by the people who were caring for me, you're not a writer. You'll never be a writer. Just give that up. I listened to all of that. And then when I became an adult and I became a twink, I listened to what other people had to say. I listened to opinions about my looks, who I am as a person, all this other stuff. And I tried to change to become that. Because, once again, I had no personality of my own. I had everybody else's. I was either your caregiver or your friend. That was it. I was the magical Negro in every 90s movie. The one who gives fabulous advice but never has a life. No. Never has a life.
The sage.
I was the sage. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm not going to call the magical Negro. That's what I love it. That's what I was.
You can say it twice.
Yes, I'll say it a third time. That's what I was in the 90s, the magical Negro.
Oh, man.
And I enjoyed it for a little bit because I thought that it was my role to educate people and be a black and gay. That was my thing at the time. It was the most... I will never do that again.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I wasted half of my life because I thought I was doing the right thing, but I was doing the wrong thing. I wasn't focusing on me. I was focusing on everybody else.
Well, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So first, when it comes to dealing with haters, you have to understand their reflection, their opinion is a reflection on their lived experiences, not who you are. It is personal to them. So, and the other thing is hurt people hurt people. So if you know when someone's saying something ugly to you, pity them.
Stand up against them.
Don't feel bad for yourself. Pity them. They're hurting to have to go out of their way to say something like that to someone else to cut them down. Something is eating at them. They see something in you that makes them hate themselves.
And I'm really starting to see that more and more and more. When people come at me, I'm like, why are you coming at me? Right. And now I'm starting to think, why are you coming at me?
Right.
What did I do to you that you are so angry that you had to come at me? And then I start to realize, wait a minute, I really don't have any... Why am I affecting you? You're not affecting me in any way.
They're still figuring a way to get to you.
And that's when I'm really starting to think, wait a minute, I've been this person. I now understand who that person is because I've been that person. I've been angry when people have said things to me, and I'm like, oh my God, you're terrible, you're mean, you're this and that, and I've gone home crying and everything else. But now I feel like, oh,
why are you so mad? Why are you so mad?
Where did I hurt you?
How did I?
Who hurt you?
I literally just walked into the room and I hurt you. Bitch, I must be all that.
So just because, like, look, this is just who I am, and I have the ego the size of this room. When people come to me and are it doesn't happen very often. I try to be very nice to everybody. I don't like to give people reasons to be upset with me. But if someone does, I just assume that I threaten them.
Okay. Yeah. Can I say this? I would love to see. I don't know why. I would love to see Wendy just go at it with someone. I don't know why.
I don't know. That's what's so funny. They want me to. They want me to.
Her being in the gay community, as long as she had, the reads will be amazing. Reads would be amazing.
If I have to swing my dick around, I'll do it. But I don't do it. What I would rather do, and what really throws them off, because here's what I actually want to do, is hug them. I ask them, what have I done that hurt you so much, and why does it hurt you? Because if I have done something to hurt you, I'm sorry, and I would like to fix it. And that immediately makes them go,
Didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
I was ready for a fight. I'm sorry, I'm not going to fight with you. We can talk about this like adults. We can talk about this like two humans that sit in a room and hash through shit so that we can have a relationship and treat each other like people. Or we can get into a screaming match where everybody hates everybody, friends get involved, and everything spirals out of control and continues to go downhill. I prefer to choose a different route. I am tired of fighting. I'm done. I'm not going to fight with you anymore. I'm going to make you my friend. Period.
That's how it should be.
I did that on my game, actually. The guy that everybody was afraid of now is a really good friend of mine. He's calmed way down.
I think I might be having the same effect on my roommate. I think I've told Spuckmeyer about my problematic roommate a couple of times. And now I feel like that, even though I feel like we still don't like each other. But I feel like when it comes to things that are happening in the house and everything else, we work together okay.
Yeah.
We actually work together okay. We may not get along. Quick story. My first day in the house. This is why I love the conversation about alcohol earlier. First day in the house, I was depressed because I went from living in a 1-bedroom apartment that I lived there for like 7-8 years to losing everything and coming to a place where I had nothing. I literally came in there with a suitcase and a backpack. Yeah. I had nothing. I lost everything. I had nothing. I kept all my podcast stuff.
That's important.
Basically enough. That was the first thing I made sure I packed up. I packed up all my podcast stuff. That was the first thing I packed up. I lost some comic books and stuff along the way, and I know why that one is looking at me funny, but
still not over that.
I offered to take you the half-price books, so we're not going to have that conversation anymore. But here I was in a situation where I don't know anybody in this house. I have lost everything. I am about to check into a hospital because I'm like, And what do? The first thing I do with the new roommate, I went to the bathroom and I left a little surprise on the toilet. I did not mean to lose on the toilet seat. I did not mean to leave a surprise on the toilet seat. But I did, and he let me have it. And
Wait, I misunderstood. Or you left a surprise on the toilet seat?
Just, when you wipe. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Don't you check?
No, I just got up to go to... You know why? Because I had not been in a roommate...
It's fucking disgusting, dude.
Bro, I had not been in a roommate situation in 7 years. And here I was. I went to the bathroom like I would normally...
Is that what you do at home?
Oh, my God.
I'm at home. And by the way, it gets cleaned. Okay? I clean. I'm a clean...
Clearly you don't.
Okay, that was I was depressed.
Anyway, you were there. He let you have it. And
we have not been friendly since. A shit stain is what destroyed our friendship.
Oh my God.
That'll do it.
A shit stain.
Yeah.
I went in my room and my first impression, I left my first impression on the toilet seat. This is hilarious.
That's funny.
I laughed in the room because I'm like, this is where I'm at mentally.
It's pretty shitty. Yeah.
It's pretty shitty. It really is shitty.
You really made your mark there.
Yeah, I really left my mark there. I really did. Oh. And now and even to this day, it's been a year. Even to this day, he will still look at me funny.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Even though I bought a new shower curtain, I clean the bathroom once a week from top to bottom. I sanitize the fuck out of that bathroom. You know what I did? I bought a combination of 70% Cypriol alcohol and a splash of hydrogen peroxide in a spray bottle that I spray all over the place in the bathroom. It is the most sanitized bathroom in the world.
You still can't get that first impression back, though.
And I still can't get that first impression back.
That's hilarious. Well, you never can.
You never can. It's the first time. And I was mad about it for months. Or now I can laugh about it because I'm like, wow. The first time I met somebody, I left the shit stain on the toilet. Now they think I'm the worst person on the planet.
Well, and that's one of those things. Those situations like that used to stress me out, and now it's very easy. I just ask myself a couple of questions, and the first question is this going to matter in 5 years?
That's a really good question.
And almost none of the time it will.
Will a shit stain on the toilet matter in 5 years? No.
And then,
it's been a year.
And then,
after a year and a half.
Is this as big a deal as I'm making it out to be? Is this actually as big a deal as it feels like it is? And it almost never is either. And that usually helps me calm down and move on with my business. So
to get back to the original question that I had at the beginning of your mental health conversation, why, of all things, we have to deal with our mental health, would you and I choose to go back into entertainment after all the crap that we have to deal with?
It made me stronger.
There you go.
It made me stronger. One, because but it also helps me see what I'm doing wrong. And I thank the haters for that, because they're like, oh, well, you're doing this, you should work on that. You know, I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, you should keep that advice to yourself too, but thank you for letting me know about it first. So, with that being said, I appreciate it. Let me work on that. Next thing you know, I'm doing it, and they're like, oh, wow, I don't think you were going to do it. I'm like, it's because of you. So, thank you very much, I tell them.
Oh, I love haters. Haters make me greater.
And, you know, and then it's something that, you know, I still listen to the things that they keep saying to me. Don't get me wrong, I hear it. You know, and I'm just like, oh, well, Jonathan should stop doing this because, you know, oh, you know, he's not good enough. And, like, I still hear it from, like, old roommates, too. And they weren't very helpful either. So, and each time I'm, like, I see them out and they're, like, seeing me, they're like.
So, so what would you like to see change in our community as far as that kind of stuff goes? Like, if someone sees something and they see something that you could be better,
talk it out. I like
constructive criticism, right? Yeah, like, hey, I think you're great, but you know what would really help you go to the next level?
Distance.
There's so many ways that you can be helpful and actually help your community and get your opinion out without being a dick.
Because from what legit, I see certain people, you know, bash queens that are new, people that, you know, that are really great. I'm just like, why are you bashing them? Like, they're doing the effort, they're doing the best, you know, to provide one for the bar or, you know, themselves and bringing people. And then they see, you know, like, oh, I'm not bringing them because, you know, they did an amazing job. Well, you know, that's good, right? And like, no, because it's making me look bad. I'm like, oh, why? Because you can't do the job? Or
step your pussy up.
You know, work on yourself. Like, legit, like not being mean, like try to improve for yourself, for you, know. And people don't understand that, like, you being bashful also, like, you don't understand how the person might be feeling, or, you know, like, it's happened at times that some people have bashed me, and I took it negatively, and it hurt me, and that's why people don't understand, like, oh, you know, for you, haha, it's funny, you posting all these shits, like, on Facebook and all that social media, but you don't understand how that person's feeling in that moment. You know what they're dealing with, and you saying that makes things worse. So,
it really is so effective for you to just look somebody in the face and say, "You hurt my feelings."
I just, you know, for me,
they're like, "Wait, no, yes, you fucking did. You don't get to decide if you hurt my feelings. They're mine." So yeah,
it's just the idea of trying to figure out how to put how to put up those mental shields so you can just go like, you know what, bitch, I ain't got time for you.
Oh,
I want that shield that literally says, bitch, I ain't got time for you.
You have that up at all times unless you're in a very small room with a very select few people. And those are people that are a safe place that can tell you when you're fucking up without hurting your feelings. You need people like that. You need people who can tell you how to get better because they want what's best for you, not because they think they know what's best.
And sorry, one thing I'll say, like, one person that has been helping me is Manny Vega, the one that's been the one doing the competition for Mr. Texas Forever. He's been the one that legit has pushed me like a year and a half ago just to continue doing entertainment. And if it weren't for him, I don't know where would I be.
I'm also going to be your Manny because I'm still going to be pushing you to do your shit. I've been pushing you to do your shit for the last 3 years, so I'm still going to keep pushing you to do your shit.
Well, no, I was just going to say I'd like to thank Manny for being a voice like that in our community. We need people like that. We need more people like that in our community, and it makes more of him. There's going to be little U's running around in 10 years.
And you know what? My Manny is going to be leaving in a couple of months, and I'm going to have to learn how to deal with my Manny not being around because he makes sure that he tells me like it is. He's the one who made sure that I, do the things that I need to do. He has, wow. I don't even know how to think. Because out of all the people, I wouldn't have gotten through Comic Palooza. I wouldn't have gotten through meeting you. I wouldn't have gotten through a lot of stuff if it wasn't for my Manny, who I'm not going to say because he does not like to be embarrassed.
Oh my God, let's give him a name. What's his name?
But the fact of the matter is that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my Manny. So I completely understand.
So sweet.
And he's leaving in a few months.
Jiminy Cricket.
And I'm going to miss the fuck out of it. I'm not worried about it right now because I already told him I'm going to get everything I fucking want out of you right now until you leave.
I'm using you up.
I'm going to use you the motherfucking up until you leave.
I think we should call him Jiminy Cricket.
And we're still trying to figure out what we're going to call your chair.
I thought it was Spunkmeyer.
Do we want to call it the Spunkmeyer chair?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was the friend zone.
Well, we were going to call it the friend zone, but I kind of want to make it a little bit more.
Not the friend zone.
Oh.
Because we're kind of like a throuple.
You'll figure. We're what?
You mean a throuple?
A throuple. Looking for the third. We're looking for a third, and you just didn't make the grade, bro. You just didn't make the grade. Your penis was amazing, but you know we realized that because your penis was so amazing, I was going to lose her. So I'm sorry, you have to go.
I don't know where this is going anymore.
There's only room for badge on this.
Don't worry, guys. He's still going to be here for several more episodes. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I understand, and thankfully enough, I have that same type of person.
So yeah, and especially like with these competitions, it's helped me focus a lot more on myself. And I have a mirror, and like nobody can see it, but I have a mirror in my living room. It's the reason why I have it there because I see myself every day, and I tell myself, "You can do it." I would tell myself like sometimes a bad negative thing, be like, "Oh, me saying it to myself doesn't hurt, so why am I listening to someone else tell me it's the same thing?"
When you say it to yourself, it does hurt. I realize that. When you say it when I call myself dumb or an idiot or stupid,
it absolutely does.
It hurts. Well, I'm hurting myself.
It rewires your brain.
It does. Yeah,
repetition rewires your brain.
So when I hear it from the outside, I start to believe it too, because if I'm believing it and they're saying it, then it must be true.
Well, yeah. Well, that is different. That is different.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that.
So for me, as like, because I always hear negative things. Like I try to like not listen to it. So I'm just like, I'm not listening to that word in that moment, you know. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's whatever. It's just a word. Because and it's something that's been helpful for me, and I'm just like, I don't listen to it as much anymore. But I just think of like the one other thing I would think of as like every negative moment has a positive moment. That someone told me that a long time ago. So like in every moment that you think is a negative, try to think of a positive, a good moment, a moment that brings you happiness. Or what I would do like in a situation that like, this happened, you know what? Oh, someone canceled on me. That's okay. You know what? I can do something else. I can go to the gym, work out. I get some time with him there. So like, that's one thing that I was taught. Like, if something bad happens, try to make it positive about it. Think positive about it. And it helps.
That's how I'm trying to relearn how I think about myself. Because I've been so ingrained with thinking of myself in the negative that for the first time, thinking of myself in the positive physically hurts.
Yes. It
physically hurts. But I will put myself through the physical hurt to negate that thing.
The way you speak to yourself affects your actions. If you say you can't, I can't, I'm not, I don't, then you won't. You absolutely will not. If you say, okay, I may not be able to do that, but follow it with yet, a whole new world of opportunity shows up. And it's not that you can't, it's that you can't yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or that you can It just hasn't happened yet. Another thing that I think we mess up on is looking at failure as a negative thing. Yep. Failure is a teacher.
I'm
failure
starting to understand the idea of failure. I have failed at so many things. So many things.
I try to celebrate failures,
but
and
you
I'm
know
like,
what
woo, I learned something today.
People, absolutely. My own friends have told me, Joel, you know what? You haven't succeeded in a lot, but you try a lot. And a lot of people don't. So
They don't. They never do anything with their lives because they don't even try. They're so afraid to fail.
My best
they won't
friend
even
told
pick it
me
up.
that I look at everything, when I do something new, I look at everything with with wonderment. Like I'm a 5-year-old child looking at something for the first time. He's like, you know why I like taking you places, Joel? Because every time you look at something, you look at it like it's the most amazing, newest thing you have ever seen. Yeah. And it brings me life. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. I didn't realize that I even do that, but I've heard people say, hey, Joel, you get soup when you are into somebody, you are into them. Mm-hmm. When you want to be friends with someone, you go out of your way to do whatever it takes to be.
Dedication.
Yes.
Dedication.
A certain weird sense of loyalty that I'm still working on because I have loyalty issues that I'm still kind of working. Every time I talk about an issue, I think about how did it happen in my childhood that I'm now here? What did my parents say or do that I'm now having this issue? Yes. This trigger. Yeah. Now I'm looking for, and I'm like, oh my God. I will now think about certain things in my childhood now that triggered why I think about who I am now. And I'm like, oh my God.
It goes way back. It goes way back. So, Jonathan, is there anything else you would like to say or anyone you would like to thank?
Summer Rain.
All right.
Someone that I would, she's been in Houston for like a few months, a year-ish. Mm-hmm. Bearded drag queen.
I love bearded queens.
She's been pushing herself more and more.
Sorry. Is she your Charlotte Shotgun? You know.
Yes, I know her. No, but
is she your Charlotte Shotgun? Because Charlotte Shotgun was my bearded queen.
Why are we whispering?
We are.
Because she does.
I know, but
I'm whispering into the microphone.
But I'm sorry. Because when she said bearded queen, I was like, oh my God, she has her own Charlotte Shotgun. Yes, girl.
But
yes, girl.
she's been phenomenal. She's been great. Mm-hmm. She's been there, and she's been kind of like that push that she's been giving me to here. So seeing her come out and being as a bearded drag queen, she's been, how you say it, being out there more and more. Mm-hmm. And with that, she's like pushed me in a way to be out there. Mm-hmm. And if it weren't for her, then I would know where I'd be. Because she was also there for the competition this past weekend, telling me like, oh, everything's great, do this, do that. So she oriented me, guided me a bit. And that day, and I told her too, like, hey, like, you're someone who's inspired me too. So, yeah. So she's been very helpful, and yeah.
Can I ask you a question now? Are you starting to have fun? Because I'm starting to have fun now. When I started putting certain things on the back, when I started started not caring about what people think, when I slowly started to like think about who I am as a person, I'm starting to have fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm starting to have fun.
And that's what, I like to see people like have fun with what they're doing, and many people just take it to a point like, oh my God, no, like I need to do this for an inexplicable reason, or like, no, do it because you want to have fun with it. Like have fun dancing. Like I have a great time, and then next thing you know, people are like, oh my God, you love the energy, we love this, we love that.
Now you want to work on your craft more. Now you want to learn. Now you want to. That's my journey too. Oh my God.
All right, Jonathan. Yay. Where can we find you? How can people follow you?
Can't say my Twitter right now. That'll be in the comments or DM me.
Okay.
Instagram.
Don't say your Twitter. Can you? You can.
That's why I say it. That's why I like.
Send me your Twitter.
He says send me your Twitter.
Instagram at THE_J_Alex. Facebook is Jonatan Alex, and then There you go. Those 3 socials right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But it's Jonathan, just T-A-N, right? There's no
There's no
okay.
Yeah.
There's no
Mm-hmm.
We'll have it up on the website. So
And don't forget, you have a competition coming up. Hello.
I have the competition coming up June 16th at San Antonio against 11 other people. I think 3 are from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Some from San Antonio. I think 1 from El Paso, and then it's in Texas. There's various people there. I'm excited to see because, like I said, I've worked with some of them. Some of them have helped me, and it's interesting to see how now we're competing. But I know we're gonna have a fun time, good time.
I noticed on Facebook that you're also doing a little bit of fundraising to help you get to.
Yes.
So make sure you let everybody know.
If you'd like to help, my Cash App, I'll be on the stream along with my Venmo.
yes.
If you'd like to help.
Can you? I guess can you send that to Phoenix? I guess yeah. Send it to Phoenix so that they can. Yes.
I'll send it, and then I have the competition is going to be at Boneham Exchange. And then this Saturday, I'm go-go dancing at Furball at Kiki's. So let's see how that goes. I'm starting to do some go-go dancing here and there now. And I hope sometime soon I'll get to perform around Houston. So and see how that goes.
You will.
If we have anything to say about it, you will.
You will. You'll get there. I just want to see you reach whatever goals you have. I really was impressed with you from the time that I met you and the time that we've been able to spend together, and watching you go through some of the struggles and still seeing you plugging away at it regardless. Mm-hmm. I just have so much respect for you, and I know you will do things in your life that bring you a lot of joy, and you will help a lot of people along the way.
I've helped people here and there, and they've been helping me. So my thing is if somebody helps me, I want to return it back.
Yeah.
That's what people should understand. That's how we should help each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
And pay it back.
You have helped this show so many times. It's ridiculous. And I've also been your biggest fan. I've been your biggest fan since I first met you. And I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I know why Spuckmeyer's laughing, but the fact of the matter is,
you do.
He's like,
no, you don't.
But the fact of the matter is, I've always respected. I've loved all your stuff. I've been following you secretly on Facebook, so I know what you're doing.
Oh, he's stalking you.
I don't mean to be stalking.
That's
you.
right.
You're that account. You're that account that I knew.
We don't even actually have a podcast. This is all for him and you. I don't know.
But like I said, I've even been following your mental health journey because you and I have talked on several. We've had some talks, and you know what? Like I said, you kind of inspired me. I'm here in a way because of you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. This is, you've helped me a lot, and I'm happy to hear that I inspire other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time I've heard it. So makes me happy. It makes me,
okay.
I appreciate it so much.
All right. Now you can just head to the bedroom. I'll be there in a few minutes.
Oh shit!
And now we're going to end this show because Jonathan and I need to take care of some business, and I need to get Wendy and them home. Did we all have fun? We all had fun.
I'm miserable. Fuck you guys.
Sweetie, you're a white woman. That's par for the course.
Sounds about
so I'm supposed to be. I'm a middle-aged.
I feel like we can't go an episode without Joel saying something about white.
I know.
It's not an episode unless Joel says something.
At least one white woman joke has to be had.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Because it satisfies my black listeners sometimes. They remind me sometimes, remember, you're with a white woman. Let her know. All right, yes, I do. Not all the time. Not all the time, y'all, because she's not that type of white woman, and y'all need to leave her alone. She is not that type of white woman.
Sounds about white.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds about.
Yeah.
Do we all have fun?
We did.
Okay. We went 2 hours and 17 minutes. You know what? I'm going to cut some of this shit.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to put it out.
Well, we'll just say this. I'm a Karen, but I'm a Karen for the culture.
She's a Karen for the culture. And by the way, I'm okay with that. I want more Karens for the culture, whether it's the gay culture, ethnic culture, whatever. I want more Karens for the culture because these bitches will fight.
Yep.
That's what we need right now. Is Karens.
We're privileged
need more
as fuck.
Karens.
We need Karens.
We walk into rooms dripping with privilege,
and you know, and the reason why I think that a lot of people talk about white women so much is because we realize that white women are stronger than they realize.
Yes.
And if they exercise the power that they have, shit, we would have already been.
If they channel that,
if they just channel that power, we
channel
would have
that
already
rage,
did
baby.
shit already. Shit would have already been done. Shit would have already, because white women know how to talk to the manager, and they would have talked to the manager in government. So
please, straight white women, please quit fucking bigots. Please stop it. Just quit giving them pussy. Don't do it anymore.
Stop it.
Stop.
Just stop it.
Stop it, please.
Don't fuck those hoes.
Stop it. But, okay, I'm pushing the button. We're done. Because if we keep going, it's going to be 9 o'clock.
All right, good night, everybody.
Oh, wait, what time is it?
Actually,
okay.
You know what?
I was like...
You know what? I told them that they would probably not be out of here till 8:30, 9 o'clock. I think we're going to get out of here at 7.
Bye. I gotta go give a cat some insulin.
I thought you were going to say something about giving Jeremy something, but okay. Wait a minute. I'm saying the boyfriend, right?
He done already got here.
Okay. I just want to say, oh my God, because I said Jeremy, but then I'm like, wait a minute, is that her son's name?
Yeah,
I don't want to say
you
the
got
son.
it right. No, it's right.
Oh God.
You got it right.
Please don't cancel this show.
No.
I meant the boyfriend. Trust me.
Oh my God.
Bye.